Okay. But I have muted everyone, but I'm allowing you to unmute yourself. In case you have something to say, you can unmute. Otherwise, I will keep everybody on mute. Okay, my screen is visible. I would love to see the faces also. I mean, it's very difficult to speak to the screen. Yeah, Swaha Patnaik, thank you so much for turning on your camera. Gayatri Senthil, Tarang Chaudhary, thank you so much, those who have turned on their camera, because that the energy exchange is very, very important. Don't you expect that from your students also? Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Shivani Agarwal, and I hope you must have attended one or two of my sessions before. And in case you have not attended, so in case this is your first session, so welcome. And so the session for today is bringing 21st century skills into the classroom. So the last session which I conducted, that was on classroom management. So after I conducted that session, I realized that what else a teacher can do so that the classrooms can come alive, what actually is required of today's classrooms. So that is why I thought of conducting a session on this topic. So first, let me break down the topic for you. It is bringing 21st century skills into the classroom. So I could have named it 21st century skills, but the point is, I just do not want you to know about 21st century skills. I want you to bring those 21st century skills in the classroom. And if you have like attended my previous session, you know my purpose is always on the how part. You can always read about what are 21st century skills, uh, where to apply them, but how to apply them, that is always my concern. So this time also, I have also come up with the same kind of mindset that you should take up something which you can do in your classrooms, something which is very, very practical. Okay, so now all of you, can you draw a scenery? I'll give you 30 seconds. And I want you to draw a scenery. If you have a pen and paper, you don't have any marks for that. Just draw anything that comes to your mind, a natural scenery that comes to your mind in the 30 seconds. Okay, and once you have drawn, just share it with me. Have you drawn anything? A natural scenery that comes to your mind. I can see Swaha ma'am scribbling something. Have you drawn something? Anyone? Yeah, Rosa ma'am, she has drawn something. I think it's not quite visible. It's not visible. Okay. Anybody else? Have you drawn something? So, okay, what happens is that the first thing usually that comes to our mind is this scenery. Something like this. Tell me, is it something like this that comes to your mind when I say a scenery? You go to the north, east, west, south, anywhere in India, whenever I ask even teachers to draw something, this is the same kind of scenery that comes to everybody's mind. Yes, somewhat similar. We draw like freehand mountains, then we also draw this kind of a bird, sun, trees, hut. That is the first scenery. So what does that mean? Why is it that everybody gets stuck with the same kind of scenery? Because we are stuck with the same kind of mindset. The world has moved ahead. The world has moved ahead, but yeah, if somebody has drawn a different, yeah. Why can't we draw something which is like maybe a beach? I've never seen anybody draw a beach. Okay, yeah, somewhat same, somewhat same. So why can't somebody draw a desert, a beach, something, a night sky? But this is the first thing that comes to our mind because this is how we were conditioned when we were young, and this is how we are conditioning the new generation. And I believe that is not a very good trend. So let's see, what are we learning today? So we are learning about why do we need to change? Yes, it is about conditioning. Yes, perfectly said. We would be talking about why do we need to change? What are the 4 C's of education? How can we develop communication, and what are the effective teaching methodologies to do that? So have you heard about PISA? Anyone? If you have heard about PISA, you can just unmute yourself and tell me about it. Okay, so PISA is a program for international student assessment, and it is conducted, listen to it very carefully. It's a story. Listen to it very, very carefully. It's a story. So PISA, it is conducted every year for grade 10 students, and the organization called OECD conducts it annually after 3 years. And it is conducted for, yes, it is international assessment, okay, Tarang, okay. It is international assessment, and it is conducted for grade 10, 15 year. Yeah, I have not shared the screen. I'm just narrating the story. So in 2009, India participated, and it is conducted for mathematics, science, and reading comprehension. So what happened that India participated in the test, and can you tell me what could be India's rank in that international test where many other countries participated? As we know, India is a country where we focus a lot on education. Parents are very much concerned about education. Schools are concerned about education. Everybody is so concerned. Yes, exactly. Heard somewhere just below Kazakhstan. Just above Kazakhstan. Oh, yeah. Gurinder ma'am says 1 to 10, very, very positive, very nice. We were among the bottom scorers. Okay. So 74. Yeah, 74 in terms of reading ability. Otherwise, we were just ahead of Kazakhstan. We ranked 73 out of 74 countries. Just imagine a country where we value education, which has seen the glorious era of Gurukuls and university system and all that, that scored 73 out of 74 countries. And after that, India did not participate. That's a long story. And my question is, what went wrong? What went wrong? What was the reason? So drop in your chat in the chat box and tell me what was the reason we could not score good at the international level. And the students were selected from Himachal Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. And 2022, India was supposed to participate, but again, it cancelled because the government said that students are not prepared because of COVID. Okay, without critical thinking, we are used to rote learning, bookish knowledge, not application-based, talents not polished. Okay, we were on rote memory, rote learning, lacking reasoning skills, old age methods, perfect. Perfectly said, everybody. You have really nailed it. I don't have to say much about it. So we all know what went wrong. So how can we change it? How can we at the ground change something about it so that next time something of this sort happens, a PISA comes, we are prepared for it. So now PISA has focused on mathematics also along with creative thinking. And along with the science, there would be one foreign language because it is considered that learning a foreign language builds critical thinking skills. So now let's see what is the requirement of the future workforce. See, when I say 21st century skills, I'm not just focusing on the work as aspect of a child. I'm not focusing just that he would be working in future. I am focusing on all the aspects of his life, that he would be working individual, he would be part of the society, he would have a life of his own. So all these 21st century skills would really help him there. But let's focus on this screen. And this has, I have taken it from OECD, that is organization that conducts different kinds of assessments, and also that conducts some surveys. And this is one survey which it conducted, and this is the skills which most of the biggest companies in the world, they listed. They said these are the basic skills, these are the basic skills which we feel the students can acquire, but these are the applied skills. And you can also say the hard skills and the soft skills. At the topmost, what can you see at the top? Critical thinking, problem solving. Second one is oral communication, then written communication, collaboration, diversity, creativity, leadership, lifelong learning, professionalism, ethics, social responsibility. So yes, these are all the skills which are actually required in the practical life of everyone, whether it's a student or a working professional. So see, this is very interesting. Recently, I read that the kind of jobs which are existing today now were not existing 5 years ago. And the kind of jobs which will be there 5 years from now, we are not prepared for that. And a student that comes to our schools, he stays there at least for 15, 16 years. Do you think we are preparing those students for the jobs which will be available after 15 years? So we are currently preparing students for jobs and technologies that do not yet exist in order to solve problems that we do not know are the problems yet. So recently, one major phenomena has happened, something very, you can say, a change has happened in 2020. What was that change? After COVID, there was one change that happened exponentially. What was that change? If I talk about the teaching methodologies, the way you work in your schools, the way you connect with your students, what was that change? NEP, okay. Okay, NEP, fine. Online, technology, yes. Technology disrupted like anything. And now, recently, which buzzword you can hear every day? Which is one thing which you can hear every day that this is going to change the world? There is one more technology. AI, perfect. Yes, so believe me, AI is going to take over the jobs world over, but yes, AI will help people who can work with AI. So there's no need to panic or no need to worry about it. But tell me, if a student can use ChatGPT, can use Google, Copilot, and all these latest technologies, why would a student need a teacher in the classroom? Are you not replaceable? We are replaceable as teachers. Recently, I saw one video where one child, he was sitting with a robot, and the robot was revising all the concepts that a child learned in the school, and there was nobody around, and the child was very comfortable with the robot. So what do you think? Can AI replace a teacher? Yes, yes, perfectly said. Thank you for reinforcing that. Education is far beyond than just getting knowledge. Yes, AI cannot replace the student-teacher connect. Perfectly said. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Emotional and sense. Anything that has EQ involved, emotional quotient involved, that cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence as of now. For the future, I cannot say, but as of now. So this is a beautiful quote by Stephen Hawking. If you do not know this gentleman, please go and read about him. You will be inspired like anything. You would feel that all the problems of your life means nothing as compared to what he faced. So he said, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Do you think it is right? What does that mean? That intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. What does that mean? Yes, thank you, Vinita ma'am. Intelligence, if you can change according to the changing times, it means you are intelligent. Otherwise, the universe has this like ability of making things obsolete. Yes, similar to survival of the fittest, perfectly said. So why are we talking about it? Why do we need to talk about the change, the adaptability, the intelligence? Why do we need to do that? If anyone can unmute and tell me that, I would be really very happy. That yes, I do have people in the session who are ready to contribute to the session. What is it, how is it related to what we are doing? And I've already laid the ground for you. I've already told. Yes, Swahab, ma'am, please.
Very good
May I,
afternoon.
ma'am?
Let Swaha ma'am go first. Next, the other person can go. I can't see who is it.
Because, ma'am, there is a lot of change when it comes to education nowadays. And we have to, like, it's not like that we'll just go to the classroom and just start with the rote teaching method. Like today, now it's completely a student-centric approach we should do. It's not about that. It's not only teacher-centric. We have to focus on the students, and we have to apply various new things when it comes to our teaching.
Okay.
And with the skills, all these things we have to apply in our teaching state.
Okay,
That's
perfectly said. Very good. Thank you so much for participation. The other person who just you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
unmute. Yeah, please.
Yes, ma'am. I would just like to give an input. Like we have been children over the years, their whole demeanor, their whole, where their backgrounds, everything has changed.
Yes.
So to cater to them, to come to their level and to understand, for learning to start from there and take it to a holistic level, you require much more than what we already have.
Yes.
So I feel change is very, very important.
Thank you so much for acknowledging that. It's very important that first we acknowledge that we do need change. So we need 21st century skills to change the way they think, to change the way they work, because they have already changed their ways. Now we need to at least be one step ahead of them, so that they at least value what a teacher is doing in the classroom. Otherwise, a teacher will become obsolete. This generation is very, very intelligent. Okay, and yes, our preparing the students has to match the needs of the future cause. And yes, perfect. Information is at the click of the mouse. So children are aware of many things beforehand. So what is it we can give them in the classroom apart from information? So we can inculcate these 21st century skills. So these 21st century skills have been taken from P21. It is a group of very big companies, and they have sat together and come up with these particular skills which they feel are very, very important for survival in 21st century 21st century. So what are these skills? I'll show you. So these are 3 L's. You can learn it by this way: learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. So under these 3 categories, we have 4 C's, IMT, and flips. So today we would be focusing on the 4 C's. Not today. Today we'll be focusing on 1C, and before the session ends, I can inform you that tomorrow and a day after, we have the same sessions, part 2 and part 3 at 4 p.m. So do join. I'll be sharing the link in the group. So 4 C's, IMT, and flips. So what are the 4 C's? These are critical thinking, creativity and innovation, collaboration, and communication. IMT, these are the information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. Flips are flexibility and adaptability, leadership and responsibility, initiative and self-direction, productivity, social and cross-cultural interaction. So if you want, you can take a screenshot. So even NEP, somebody wrote about NEP. Yes, that was a big change that came up. But the point is, NEP, what actually NEP asks us to do? Because we are at the ground level, the policymakers are not at the ground level. We are at the ground level. So what is it that we can do? So let's just break this down. So let's focus on the green part. It says, focus from rote learning to holistic development through innovative and interactive pedagogical approaches. So some of the approaches I shared in the classroom management, some I would be sharing along the way today, tomorrow, and a day after. And what is the essence of NEP? It says, it emphasizes on the importance of fostering critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. So it means we are not just talking about 21st century skills, we are also talking about how NEP advocates to inculcate these skills within our educational paradigms. So just see, before we go into our classrooms, we must understand the difference between teaching and facilitation, because this is not the time for teaching now. That is a 20th century skill. So now we are focusing on 21st century. So we need to be facilitators rather than just teachers, because Google can be a teacher, but we need to be facilitators within our classrooms, a facilitator that can kindle the fire of learning, that can focus on discovery, that can focus how learning to learn, outcome-based. It should be research-driven and active learning. Now there is no time for passive learning. Okay. So now what are the 4 C's of learning? As I already shared it with you: communication, critical thinking, creativity and innovation, and collaboration. So these are the 4 C's. And out of these 4 C's, we would be focusing on communication today. And additional, these are the 3 additional C's, which I believe are very, very important: character building, citizenship, computational thinking. So yes, let's focus on the communication skills. I will not discuss what are communication skills. I will only discuss strategies and games to develop communication skills in the classroom. So please be focused now. So you must have seen this game we used to play. I think when we were kids, we used to play this game, telephone. Do you remember this game? We used to speak to somebody's ear, and that person has to say it to somebody else, and there would be a whole lot of students. They would be saying the same thing to the other person. But what happens by the end, it turns out to be something else. I started with some X, and at the end, it becomes Y or Z. Yes,
Ma'am, Chinese.
Yes, Chinese whispers. But let's see how we can use this. It is so if I ask you to play Chinese whispers, then it would be only for once. Then what is the practical utility or educational utility of this game? I'll show you. So what you have to do is have your students sit in a circle, or maybe as they are sitting in the classroom, you can whisper one message to the one person, and what that message can be. You don't have to go by vague messages. Let it be your subject specific. Let it be some definition. Suppose you have today taught them about water cycle. So why can't you give them a definition which one student will narrate to other? If they miss, they would be fun. If they do not miss, they would revise it. So you can just take the screenshot. You can take some, you can just see what examples you can do in your classrooms. So that would help build their communication. They would be, every child will have to speak that particular sentence. And if you feel that it is quite easy, you can make it a little longer. Make it a little complex. And depending on your grades, you can customize it. And you can take help from ChatGPT. You can ask Gemini, you can take help from Copilot, you can take help from Bard, and that would really help you in coming up with this problem where you feel, okay, how can I develop communication skills in my classroom? So this is one idea. I have a lot more. So I'll just, so literature, health education, physical education, you can talk about it, whether when you are in the outfield, the PT teacher can say, okay, regular exercise such as running or swimming can help improve cardiovascular health and overall fitness. So tone it down according to the level of the students, or you can make it more complex if the students are of the higher grades. So this is whatever activities I will be telling you today, whatever pedagogies I would be discussing, it would be totally independent of subject, totally independent of the age group. So every subject teacher, every age group, these can be customized. So next game is improve games with, so what is improve game? So in this, what you do is you tell a statement to the students and then they have to build up upon it. Yes, they have to say yes, and I'll give you example. This is a general example. This is not subject specific example. This is a general example. So you can click it so that you know how to play this game in the classroom. It is called improve games, or you can say yes and games for easier like understanding for the students. Okay, for example, a student, you have given them one prompt, or maybe the first student says something. First student says, I found a mysterious map in my attic. So now the next student will have to add on to that. Yes, and it leads to a hidden treasure on a deserted island. Student 3 says, yes, and the island is guarded by friendly dolphins. Yes, and the dolphins can talk and give us clues. Yes, and we need to solve riddles to find the treasure. This is just a generic example. Let me show you one example with a subject, science. Okay, so you have given them a prompt. A butterfly starts its life as a caterpillar. So now the first student, this is the first prompt, or you can ask the first student to even add something to this. Then the second student says, yes, and it eats lots of leaves to grow bigger. Yes, and then it forms a chrysalis where it transforms. Yes, and after some time it emerges as a beautiful butterfly. Yes, and it can now fly and look for flowers to drink nectar. So whatever topic you have taught them that day, so see, we are always doing cross-checking in the classroom whether they have understood the concept or not. So why not do it in an interesting way rather than just asking them, okay, you stand and tell me, you stand and tell me. Why not do it this way so that you can understand they have understood something, and it will involve every student in the classroom. You don't have to worry that this student is not participating and this student is always participating. So for one group, you can give one prompt. Suppose you have taught them something else also in this subject. So you can start with the prompt and ask them to add on to that. So next example can be from the SST. Mahatma Gandhi led, so this is the prompt you have given them. Mahatma Gandhi led the Indian independence movement. Yes, and he used non-violent protest to fight for freedom. Yes, and he inspired many people to join the struggle. Yes, and he is known as the father of the nation. Yes, and his birthday is celebrated as Gandhi Jayanti. So this is how the students can add on to the, sometimes you don't have to go by subjects, you can sometimes give them a liberty to say whatever comes to their mind, whatever they are feeling. Sometimes you can say, okay, today it's a beautiful day and I'm feeling very happy and positive. So the next student can add on, yes, so let's do this now. So what is it you can add on to that when I say, today is a beautiful day and I'm feeling very positive and happy. So what can you add on to that? So if you can type or unmute yourself and tell me.
Yes, although it is very hot outside, we are motivated to learn more.
Very nice. Anybody else? Yes, and. Yes, and. You have to say yes, and. See, they would love
Yes, and we
any.
have opportunity. Uh, we are getting this opportunity to learn through these webinars.
Very nice, very nice. So I hope now you understood the essence. Sometimes we used to do the story circle kind of a thing. It is similar to that, but now you can incorporate it in every subject. It can be used as a tool to understand the students' engagement in the classroom and their level of understanding. And it would involve every student in the classroom. So this one is for mathematics. Do not feel that these are all for sciences and SST. It is for mathematics also. Fractions are a part of whole and can be added or subtracted by finding a common denominator. Maybe the students will not be able to say such long sentences, but once you give them an idea, give them examples, maybe they would gradually learn to say such longer sentences. Otherwise, whatever they add on to that, please welcome that. Because they will feel motivated to learn more, and next time everybody will participate. Even the one who's shy would definitely try, because it's a game. You're not putting some marks on this. So they would definitely participate in that. So the next game is mock interviews. So everybody knows what is an interview. I will not get into the depth of what is an interview, but how to conduct it, I'll share it in the next slide. See, suppose you have already taught them Indian independence movement, and now prepare the students a day before. Tell them, okay, tomorrow we will be conducting a mock interview, and I can ask anyone to come on the stage and be interviewing. One student will act as historian, and the other class, the rest of the class will act as interviewer. Or maybe you can have 3-4 students who act as historians, so that one student does not feel the burden of taking up all the topics. So maybe you can assign one group, okay, today these 5 students will act as historians, and the topic, whatever I taught today, would be the topic which we will be revising tomorrow. So tomorrow they would be ready with whatever you have taught, and the students would act as interviewers. See, the questions would all remain the same, whatever you have in your curriculum. But now when they will feel it's an interview, so they would feel it's very fun thing to do. So the rest of the class will become as interviewer. One student will ask one question and tell the students who are going to be interviewer to prepare their questions. See, for the first time or second time, you will have to help them out. You can take questions from here. You can just formulate your own questions. These are all the questions which are in your books already. Just twist it a little bit. Yes. Anybody would like to say something? Okay, just change the questions which you have in your books a little bit and give those questions to your students to be asked to the historians. Okay, similarly, you can have somebody as a scientist, astronomer, and the other students will act as interviewers. So they can explore the solar system together. So can you suggest me one more topic where you can use this mock interview in your classroom? Whichever subject you are teaching, whichever topic you are teaching, you can do it in that. So suggest me one.
An author or a writer we can
Writer,
interview,
perfect. Yes, that is,
a
see,
poet.
that is for the, yes, that is for the languages. For every language, you can do that. What about other subjects?
And economics,
Maybe
ma'am, we can take mock
Perfect.
interviews.
Politician, mathematician. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, I hope you got the essence of the mock interview. So make it a big thing. Do not just go, okay, karte hain, questions पूछेंगे. No, questions नहीं पूछेंगे. It is interview. And you are supposed to make it big and interesting so that even the students can enjoy the classroom. See, these students, they are sitting in our classrooms for 6-7 hours every day. They must look forward to come to the classroom. Otherwise, we will not be able to do what we intend to do. We want them to be critical thinkers. We want them to be good communicators. We want them to be collaborators. But unless until we do certain things, I'm not asking you to do anything beyond your syllabus. That is my promise. Every time I conduct a session, whether it is offline or online, my focus is always on giving you strategies which are applicable in the classroom, which are not something, okay, I have read somewhere and I give it to you. No, these things are very, very practical. And I believe every teacher, every classroom can use this. So next one is inquiry-based learning. I will not get into that because then I would not be doing justice to this inquiry-based pedagogy. Right now, we did games and activities. We did 3 things. The one is mock interview. Another one was yes and, and the third one was, what was the first one?
Telephone,
Yes.
telephone whisper.
So work on these
Interview.
three. Work on these three today. Understand how you will do it in your classroom. Take help of the ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Google, or maybe you can exchange it with your fellows. See, unless until we become collaborators, we become good communicators, we become critical thinkers, we become creative thinkers, we cannot inculcate that in our students. For that, we have to keep upgrading, we have to keep learning, we have to keep improvisation on certain things which are very easy to be done in the classroom. Yes, syllabus I cannot change, but we can do certain things in the classroom which are applicable. So the meeting is about to end. And last time I forgot to thank because it ended abruptly. So thank you all for being here. Tomorrow, we will meet again at 4 p.m. and a day after also. The link will be, link will be shared in the AIEF group. And thank you so much for being here. If you would like to share something, we don't have actually time even to share it. It's in less than 1 minute. But thank
Ma'am,
you.
can we get the recording of classroom management session?
Sir, classroom management or this one?
This one and classroom management you took
Sir,
now
I
last time.
don't know. It depends on Matthew, sir. I have no idea because
Okay, I
I'm
will check
conducting the
that.
session for AIEF, so I don't know. I do have the recording, but I don't know whether we are allowed to share it